Hello, music people. In this video, we are going to continue to put some finishing touches on our lead sheet for this simple little song that I wrote called A Chill Song. What I'm going to be talking about are how to use repeats properly on a lead sheet. As you must know, there's lots of different songs out there where maybe a chorus is repeated, or part of a song section is repeated. You might say, yeah, every time I want this song played, I want the chorus done twice in a row, or something like that. So how do you go about articulating that on a lead sheet? Well, I am going to show you how. So here we have our lead sheet in MuseScore. And the first thing that you might see when you look at this is you might look at the introduction, which we added in the last video. We added the intro right here. And you might think, 2 bars, that's not a very long introduction. I actually think I'd like this chord progression to be played twice in a row as an intro. Then the intro is twice as long and becomes 4 bars long. I kind of like that idea. So that's that is the simplest type of repeat that you can do, and that's totally great. And the way that you will want to do that is you'll want to highlight the bar where you sort of will want the musicians to look at and be like, oh, okay, I am now going to go back, to the beginning and play everything again. You'll highlight that bar, and then you'll go here in the in your palette here, and you will go to repeats and jumps. There's actually a couple different ways you can do it, but I'm going to show you this way. And with this highlighted, you will click on this symbol. Now you have this symbol. This symbol means to basically repeat everything that comes before it. And what you have here, right, is you've got 2 dots to the left of a thick bar line. Okay, so when musicians see and singers see 2 dots to the left of a thick bar line like this, they know that that means, okay, I am going to go back and repeat. And in this case, they would go all the way back to the beginning and just play this twice. After they play this twice, after the second time, they know to just keep going this way. All right. So that is the very simplest type of repeat that you can have, where you just go all the way back to the beginning and play everything again. Alrighty. Now, let's say you keep going through your song and you think to yourself, this is a pretty short song. I've just got 1 verse, 1 chorus. I want them once the musicians get to the end of this section here. I want them to go all the way back to the start again and just do the verse and the chorus again. I don't want them to go all the way back to the intro. I just want them to go back here. Okay, well, I'll show you what you do. You can use the same repeat sign again, but your work is not done. If you just have a repeat sign like this, what this means right now is that the musicians are going to go all the way back to the beginning. But that might not be, if that's what you want them to do, then that's fine. Then your work is done. But if you don't want them to redo the intro again, if you just want them to go right back here right away, then you actually need another kind of symbol to indicate where you want them to go back to and start repeating things. And that is actually the opposite symbol of this. I'll show you. It's this. See what happened there? It's actually possible to have 2 different types of repeat symbols on the same bar. So on the same bar line. So when you have sort of the reverse, when you have 2 dots to the right of a thick bar line, what that means is, hey, when you see this and you go back to this symbol here and start playing it again. Okay, that's what that means. If this symbol with the dots to the right of a thick bar line, if that's nowhere to be found, it means go back to the beginning. But if there is one like this, then it means, go back here. And, of course, it wouldn't have to be there. You might decide that you want the chorus repeated. If you want the chorus to be repeated, the chorus starts here. Fine, select that bar line and do that. What that indicates is, the musicians will play this section here. They'll play the introduction twice. Then they'll play the verse once. And then they'll play this entire section, this chorus, they will play that twice because this symbol is telling them to go back to this symbol. Alrighty? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a further layer of complexity here and talk about something called voltas. And those are better known as first and second endings, okay? Let's say you think to yourself, okay, yeah, I like this idea of repeating the chorus, but I want something to be a little bit different about the last time that the chorus is done. The first time I want it to be done like this, but the second time I want, maybe the last measure or the last 2 or 3 measures to be, a little bit different. If that's what you want to do, you need something called voltas, or more commonly, the way that I think of them anyway, is first and second endings. So let's say, instead of singing I'm writing a song that's chill, if you want to end the song a little bit differently with something else, like I'm writing a song, yes, it's chill. If you want it to be something like that, only at the end, that's an example where you need voltas. And here's what you do. You go in your palette here and you click on lines. And here you'll see some lines where you've got, and they're even labeled prima volta and seconda volta. What I like to, an easier way to name them is just your first ending and your second ending. Very simple. If you know that you're wanting the first ending to sound like this, but you don't want this to happen the second time, then you press this. Now we have a little line up at the top with a 1 here, and what that's indicating is, okay, the first time that you are going through and performing this song, the first time I want you to do what's in this measure here. That's the first thing you do. You do this measure, then you repeat, all right? And then when it comes to the second time, then you will do a second ending. So you'll highlight this bar and then you'll do second ending. So what you're instructing the musicians to do is when they are doing this for the second time, they will perform these bars and they will skip the first ending bar. They will skip this bar here and they'll go straight to this one instead. So they'll play these, skip the first ending and go right to the second ending, to the end of the song. So you might want to, so you'll write, you'll write what you want the musicians to do. You might want, some kind of extended ending at the very end. You might want some different chords happening. You can write all of those there and then end the song. All right. So, so an example of what that might look like is here. So I've got my first ending here, and then I wrote just a really simple second ending, and I deleted those measures at the end. You can do that if you ever want to delete empty measures at the end. I can just quickly show you how to do that. You can just highlight them all, hold down Shift to highlight more than one measure, and you can right click and just click remove selected range, and they're gone. Alrighty. So that's a little bit of an intro on using repeats and voltas. There's a whole other topic around codas. There's DC codas, DS codas. I don't have the time to cover that in this video, but if you're curious about that, it's basically just a little bit more of a complicated way of repeating and jumping around a lead sheet. They're less common on lead sheets, but if you are curious about them, or if you ever come across a lead sheet that says DSL Coda, there's other videos and other online resources that'll teach you about those. I just wanted to introduce simple repeats in this video. So I hope that's helpful. And there's still some more that we can do to just totally perfect what we're wanting to do with our lead sheet. So stick around. We're gonna have probably one more video yet in this series. So stay tuned.